Hello.
Oh. Hello. I cannot turn my camera on because my internet here is so it has a small bandwidth. So
no problem.
Yeah. And it's a miracle that we have internet.
you can see us correctly, or
yeah. I can see you. Very good.
Okay. So I was telling Pauline that we need to get better at communicating about this project.
Okay.
Because like at the end of the call in which we were like half an hour ago, everyone pretty much said like, oh, let's do basic income, right?
Oh yeah, with the vision and vision.
And this is a project for basic income.
Okay.
But we don't have people coming.
Okay.
So maybe we are doing something wrong. And
yeah, I think not wrong, but maybe just a little bit more to put it out there a little bit more in the platforms that I don't know, like Twitter or all these spaces for people to know about the project, right?
Yes. So I had a question like, why did you decide to join this call today?
First, because well, last week we were discussing in the conversation for community calls for climate change, remember? And when I share my story about how I went into Web3 and like my experience with the last community I was in, it was something that really can help. Like the way they structure the framework for Hero's Journey, I think it's something that can be applied to different things, organizations, projects, to go into deeper conversations. So that allow to connect like with other humans in human level, because I know it's like something that can be very logic or something that it's like something, I don't know how to say it in English, like logic, but at the end it's something that we have hard time to connect with other human beings, like humans, because we have fears, because we have distrust, because we don't know if the other person will hurt us, like all these things that we all have. And when you go into a community, even though it's online, the first thing is like speaking out, like having your own voice, which is something that you have to bring on online all the time, and your persona, but it's more about your voice. You need to gain confidence for that to be able to grow right inside you, the confidence to share with people. And when you are in a community that nurtures that, it allows people to get more connected and to be more open. And that openness and being able to be vulnerable with each other helps the community to be more coherent. And then you have the ability to move with as a group and to have more impact in the things that you want to achieve together. So that's why I'm here.
That does play a part for sure in myself and people I interact with, but I still have that hope of like, oh, okay. There's a lot of inherent
I have the document and I was reading. I will share also the link to the article. It because when I did this like framework, it's called Hero's Journey. It's about 12 steps. Let me share with you the link.
Not struggling against the struggle of health, creating this kind of like doom loop, but like allowing it to harmonize struggle in a way that results in good development for myself and whatever I'm embedded in. So these are just some some ramblings from having heard what we heard and what was shared.
Is
And
that Ben
with
West
that,
in the background?
I'll pass it to Rebecca.
What?
Is that Ben West in the background?
No, I don't. I think Arsen is in another call. So.
It sounds like Ben West
The guy from All for Climate.
from Bitcoin. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the document.
Yay.
Okay,
Mhm.
so these are the 12 chapters. Basically, it's like you start. The first thing, and then it's super easy, is the ordinary world, the status quo, limited awareness of the problem, but something was missing. So in the exercise is about what is the first memory you have when you were a child? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? And then from there, you start structuring it. For example, in my case, it's like, the first memory that I have, it was me being in the mud, like playing with mud, because basically I was with my friends trying to do cakes with mud. And there are these kind of small red things that are not cherries, that look like apple but mini, but they say in Mexico that it's like if you eat them, it's poisonous, which was not, because I then tried it and nothing ever happened. But this is like my first memory, right? This is my ordinary world. This is where I belong. I remember my father and my mom like being always in community with gatherings in the building that we were living in Mexico City. And all this comes to where you come from, who are your parents, which is your heritage and your culture, and what that makes you feel. What are the feelings from that memory? Because that's where you belong. That's the first thing where your journey begins, right? This is where you learn the basics. And from there, you start like moving into different chapters. There's many ways to do it. In my experience, the best way to do it is like just flowing in the conversation, because if you want to force a conversation like, oh, what, now we're in the first chapter, and then you move into the second chapter. It's just like when you listen, because you need to also have active listening. Let me share that also with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It cannot be forced.
I don't know where that's at. My internet's so slow. Well, if not, I will share with you as soon as I have shared.
So this is the framework you used with the community you told us about for
Yeah.
conversations between two persons.
Yeah, how it worked was like we were in the community calls, right? And they were like, I don't know, like 10 people. So we made the introduction about like, what are we going to do? This is the hero's journey. This is an exercise and a framework for people to get to know each other better, to know your own story, and to partner with someone to listen actively, so they can map for you things that you are missing in your story. And then you do it for someone else, and then someone else needs to do it for you. It doesn't matter, and it can be different persons through the different chapters, but it's better when you do it with the same person, so it will have like a feedback like from different chapters, and then it has like more coherence of your whole story. It's also important to know that every time you do it, every time you tell your story again, you will add things, but it becomes easier for you to tell your story, because that's also part of the framework. The more you tell your story, the more you really feel it, and then you are more able and more confident to share it with people. And that allows you to find your voice at the end. I mean, I'm super shy. I'm super shy.
Attends, quitte pour voir si ça se trouve c'est de notre faute.
Comment ça, c'est notre faute?
Je sais pas, t'as cliqué sur un truc.
Non, j'ai pas cliqué sur un truc.
You came back.
Hello.
I'm back. Sorry. It will be like that because the internet, as soon as some small rain comes to the town,
You were
internet goes down.
saying,
The more you say your story, the more you share your story, the more rounds you do with your story with different people, the more you feel it and you empower yourself with your story. Because the first time it's about like going through the chapters, and then you start reminding yourself all the different things that you have experienced, and then you feel proud about your story. You feel proud about how you have moved, how you overcome, and how much you have, you have walked through this life. So it's very nice when you find that, and it's good for others to listen, because also when you're doing it for someone else, you find things inside the other person's story that kind of resonates with you, and then that allows you to connect deeper with it. It's like, oh, I understand you. I cannot fully understand in the same way or experience what you experience, but I can empathize with you. I can feel that we all have struggles, that we have to overcome things, and then those things is what make the connection stronger between people. Because you're finding yourself in other one's story, and someone else is finding himself in your story. And at the same time, you find yourself in your story, and you recognize the power that you have with how you have experienced life until now, and that you have made it, for good and for bad. You have made it, and you are here because all the experience, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, and everything that you have before.
yes.
So
Wait,
it's basically that.
you say there are several chapters here, right? So
Yeah.
12 chapters. And you say like every time you tell your story, is it like in each call you tell all the chapters with one person, or you do like I don't know, one first call and it's just one chapter, and then or how does that work?
For example, there can be many different ways, but in my experience, for example, the community calls, there were break rooms. So you had like 10 or 15 minutes with each person, and you choose like, oh, who wants to start? And then you can move through 1, 2, or 3 chapters in that 15 minutes. It depends on how much you are able to share. And then it's like, it depends on you and the other person to arrange a meeting outside to learn more about each other. So it needs to be active inside the community. That's just to test, like to find, like to seek the discomfort of doing it with someone that you don't know.
Yeah. And this 15 minutes, it's like the two persons tell their story, or one person tells their story and the other one.
It depends, because it's about like, oh, you want to start, or it's like 10 minutes each, or it's like half and half of the time for each one to start sharing. It depends. In my case, I started like the first 15 minutes just doing my story, and then I request my partner if he could have a call, because I was willing, that I was like, thank you for listening to me, but I really would like to listen to you now. Okay. But it's also, you need to be active, and that's also good, because then you see which is the people that is really going to engage with the exercise. And then it can be like 2 calls after, one for each one, to go through the whole journey. It can take like 1.5 hours to do the whole journey. And
Right.
it's about being fluid. The active listening thing, it's about mapping key things through the different chapters, so you can help the people move into the story in a very fluid way. It's like, you're saying that you had this struggle. What happened? How did that make you feel? And then it's like you move that person into the next chapter.
Mhm.
So I think in a nice workshop, it will be like explaining what the chapters mean. So when you have active listening, then you map, this is chapter 1, but you don't say like, we are now in chapter 1, we're in the departure. It's like how you move into the story, knowing where all the steps can be mapped for the other person. And then you have, I will share that with you also. It's like for each chapter, you put like notes, and then you put for people then to read it. And then the person that is helping you with the exercise can also map like keywords for each chapter that are like values or values or important words that mean something through the different chapters. And then you will have like a pattern of what really is important for the person. Like it's important to
Okay.
reach people. It's important to have community, like these keywords that will define the person, basically.
Mhm. Mm. Very good, very good. It's very interesting because this is a tool that's originally used in screenwriting to
To write.
create characters and stories, and
Yeah.
they like, so you're applying it backwards,
Hmm.
and I think that's interesting to
Yeah.
analyze the stories of real people.
Yeah, because it's like, and it's nice because then you understand that you also are a hero of your story,
Mhm.
that you recognize the power that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, because I was reading that, I think yesterday, that we didn't have internet. It's like you can have the hero's journey,
Mhm.
and you also have the virgin's journey, which is also used for screenwriting stories.
The builder.
The virgin, La Virgen,
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
virgin. So I will share the article. It's interesting because, for example, that article was shared with me by Arsene, and it's interesting because the hero's journey is focused on going far away to pursue or to seek or to find your way. And in the virgin's journey, it's about not living, but dealing with the inner part of yourself, and then creating chaos inside your community to rebuild it, and then to create like transformation, to be able to transform your community. So there are different approaches. It's kind of the same type of exercise, like going through chapters, but just it's defined in different terms. And it's not about like, is the virgin journey just for men or women? No, it doesn't have any gender. It's just because it's like approaching different like
Yeah,
ideas, concepts inside the story.
yeah,
But yeah, it's about applying it to your own story, finding yourself in that chapters, creating your own uh, like novel about your life.
Mhm. Good. I really like this. I think we should adapt this to our calls. Mm, So if you can share that with us later, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking the version from, I guess
Thinking,
you have.
you wanted Pauline to Pete to show her the pitch of the project, no?
Yes,
Yeah, sorry, I was
some more
setting up
questions
info.
about
Thanks.
the process.
Mm,
Like the person who talk the other one is facilitating the journey for him, right? So
Yeah.
he's listening, and he's helping him going chapter after chapter.
Yeah.
And there is no conversation. The facilitator, I don't know how you want to call it.
Yeah, facilitator.
Can he answer or share something about him, or it would be weird, or it's just listening and there is no conversation, right?
The conversation is guided by the questions you ask, but you have to be, basically it's about being present for the other person. It's nothing has to do about what you feel. I mean, of course you have not the ability to disattach yourself from the story that you're listening, but it's learning to be present for someone else and to be able to listen things that he's not being aware.
Mhm.
So the facilitation is more about, yeah, listening and being present, which by the way is hard because we have hard time with it. Yeah. And that's also like an exercise for the one that it's facilitating to develop presence for someone else.
Okay. And he's taking notes. Did you take notes
Yeah.
each time? Yeah.
Yeah, I will share. I'm sharing with you there also this like document, which is for that. It's like you have a space for taking notes, and it's about like key points of the story, and then on the second row is about the feelings which are important. I'm just trying to clean it for you because so you can have it like white Canva basically.
We should do this workshop with the people in All for Climate also.
Yeah. Maybe in the community goals, it will be a good place to explore how that can work. Okay, so story. Mhm. Mhm.
So cool.
Okay, here is the other. That's the other document.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we can propose that in the next community call to say, hey, next time we would like to explore an experience, and we could do these breakout rooms.
Yeah.
And it's how you met Arseny.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. So
So
it's well
now
tested. It's well tested.
that story is now part of your story.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, very cool.
So here is like the agenda is listen to the story chapter by chapter, ask specific the question if the story is too general, details of what happened is important. The feelings are what a validate experience. That's why in the notes it's about, yeah, like key points of the story, but the feelings, mapping those feelings is what helps you overcome situations. Even if the experience is negative, there is a power and a strength of positive within it. Mine for that theme is like, okay, you felt overwhelmed, you feel sad, then how you overcome that feeling of sadness, what happens next, who you meet that help you to go through these feelings and be able to move into more positive mindset. And then it's like, oh, I don't know, the person say like, oh yeah, my cousin was there all the time helping me. And it's like, oh, so your cousin is kind of your mentor. And then it's like, oh yeah, well, I was not thinking about him being my mentor, but now, like you help him to recognize these things in the story. And it's, yeah, help craft their why statement. It's why are you doing what you're doing? And then it's switched because then it's your turn. And it's be curious, be open, explore, and embrace. And basically it's embracing your story. And there are some goals, and it's like how sharing the story is about why, the purpose, the principles, the beliefs. In translating these themes into why statement, it is like why contribution to that's your superpower, and the impact is so that I can in the community. So it's very well explained here.
Mhm. Cool.
So yeah, we can apply it in all for climate or here, and yeah, and
Mhm. And you
yeah,
say like to do the whole thing for 2 persons, it's like 1 hour and a half.
yeah, 1 hour and a half. Two if it's like they go very deep, but it should be like easy to go, also to finish and to have this sense of, oh yeah, my story is good.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. I want to do it now.
Now.
Right now, you can try it with Juan, and Juan try it with you, and you tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it will be if we can do it. To be honest, I have been in calls like nonstop, 1 hour, and that I came into also to climate like late because I was in the previous, and then I didn't have internet, and then I'm delaying things because yesterday I didn't have any internet, so I'm like a little bit overwhelmed with delaying things because not internet. But if you want, we can do it. I mean, next week, whenever you want. So, no, if you want to do it, Pauline, or you want to do it, Juan, so I can kind of show you how I did it in my way of doing active listening. So we can map some things that maybe we can add into the worksheet, so it's easier for people to understand. But the thing is that the more you do it for someone else, the more you practice, you are able to be more present, and then you can have like this ability, because at the end it's something that you have to nurture, and you have to do it and practice to be able to map words or ideas. I mean, it's not difficult, it's just about practice and some key elements to turn negativity into positive. So you kind of get the people out of the stuckness of the story, so they move into the next chapter. So we can organize that call for doing it like 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, so we can finish the whole exercise. So
Yeah.
you can sense it. And then also we can refine some things that are not clear, or yeah, in the documents.
I think let's do it. I don't know, maybe like in a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, whenever you want, just let me know and I organize.
We invite some more people also, etc. But
Yeah.
definitely I'm interested in doing this.
Yeah.
Pauline, you wanted to show her the pitch deck or the roles? Maybe. How much do you know about this project, Adriana? Because I know we talked about it, but
I think I know what you have talked about it. I mean, I went into the Discord but just like super fast and not really very deeply. I know it's about having like basic income for everyone, and the story about you walking and then homeless and thinking about how to give donations because you didn't have cash and debit card, but then you move into that idea into something bigger. And yeah, I'm kind of there, not that much about the whole project.
Yes, I have a lot of questions in my mind. Yes, I would love to show you the pitch deck that we have improved. And so it's just 5 minutes. I think it's a good idea just to show you and have some feedback from you. But I'm still wondering how we can improve our communication, because a pitch deck, it's like for people. To me, it's very hard to hear a pitch deck from others. So I think that I'm not someone who will connect to a project by a pitch deck. So I would love to show you that, but I'm still wondering how we can connect and build this community with Juan in a deeper way. And one of our idea was to create a media called Solidarity Voice. And it would be a media on Twitter Space, and we would have conversation with people who have projects around migration, basic income, solidarity, mutual aid. So it might be a way to connect with the community.
I was in digital space before, but as everybody moved, I feel like then there is a lot of people.
And yes, I'm wondering what kind of other events we can create to connect with people and maybe not with a pitch deck.
Natural, and that
yeah, I mean, the truth is that people connect with people.
Yeah.
Right? People don't connect with projects, people connect with people. So the first person that they need to see is you and Juan. Speak about basically the project. Just small videos on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you want. Easy, just being very direct and honest with people, because then it's like, oh, I see myself in Pauline, I see myself in Juan. And then that will make the connection with you and then to the project.
It's not the point is not to be answered.
And that's the key.
Since I read
the project can be perfect. The project can be wonderful, beautiful, harmonious. But the people need to see people. Speak truly about the project. They don't engage with, yeah, I mean, of course it's good and some visual can support it, but solidarity is so much about helping people to have a basic income. So they need to see people that are doing that for them.
Myself something
and they can join you to the project.
And then I think after
so I think it's like going small
And then I know
all
that,
small
and then after,
actions
I don't know, 2
into
months, I
making
kinda
people engage with you.
started reading that book, and I was like,
And
oh
then
my.
it's small
So,
chunks
yeah,
of the
I just
project
feel like
being,
kinda trying to connect these
share
two
with them.
worlds in a
So
meaningful
it's
way
easier
and
for
kinda
people to
meet
start
person.
joining, and they can be
Is a way.
more engaged with the project through you, through your experience, through your struggle, why it's important for you, why is
What
something
the
that,
book-
like everyday things that
The
you
book was memory
you
goals.
kind of
Yeah,
have
it's-
struggle,
I mean, second part of
that
the book
makes
is
you
a little bit
desire
boring, but it's
this,
kinda-
not
boring,
just for
it's
you, but
just
for
boring.
others.
It's kind of trying to hold the argument and to explain, but basically for me, I was kind of really trying to understand
Oh.
essence of indigenous ways of being, and for me,
I-
that was always something foreign. And I mean, I kind of could grasp it intellectually, but I was really trying
I
to
think
find
that
ways to
we can
kinda
show you the pitch
connect
deck to have
on some kind
like
of physical level.
back on
And
the
I
pitch
think
deck.
this book,
On the-
No.
part of this
on
book
the-
really
if you
opened to
understand, we
that
just need
world, and then
to know that.
after that,
Mhm,
reading
of course.
the Sandtalk,
And
I
can
think
you
is
do it?
very.
Because
I was reading first Sandtalk, and I mean, I kind of understood it one way, but after I read
Okay.
Memory Code and
So we
then
will
reading
share our
Sandtalk,
screen.
I started
But
connecting.
thank you so much for your
things in a sense. Like before, it was just
help.
like
You are
intellectual exercise,
helping a
and
lot
now
with
it's like,
your
oh, it makes sense.
notes.
It's like it's not something that is
Yes.
kind of part of
It's a
my
lot about
culture, but I can understand
improving
and then I can
ourselves
kinda empathize with
and
with
yes,
that way.
connecting
It just
with
opened the door
others
for me,
and
so memory code.
also knowing why we do things. Sometimes it's not clear, and it's a lot of yes, we need to know us also to be able to communicate with others and how we are related to this project. And so yeah, we need therapy for that.
Therapy?
Yeah.
I don't know therapy.
But it means also that the only way to attract community is also us to improve, and we can't, if we stay the same person or we don't evolve and or we do exactly the same things and the same actions to build this community, it won't work if we do it bad, actually. So we
Yeah.
need improvement and improve ourselves too. So yeah.
Mhm. I agree. Okay, can you see the screen?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
Well done, Pauline.
Okay, so yeah, you can go.
Yeah, now I can see.
So, we cannot solve global problems like economic inequality, social polarization, and climate change if we are all competing with each other to merely survive. The challenges of our time require long-term collaboration between all ages, genders, nationalities, and species. Fortunately, pro-social incentive mechanisms can help coordinate all humans to build an inclusive society, where the holiest commandment is no longer know your customer, but know your neighbor. So members of our community practice the art of authentic conversations and get to know their neighbors by meeting with other participants once a month and recording an authentic conversation that is then shared with everyone else. Over the coming months and years, these conversations will change our perception of people that used to be strangers into people that we trust and care about. We can use this series of conversations to continuously verify the identity of people that don't have official documents or proof of address, opening the gates to our new and inclusive financial system to those that are most in need. When you join our community, you will receive an identity certificate token that proves your humanity to all Web3 applications that require Sybil resistance. This token is composed of personal data like name, physical appearance, birth date, and voice prints. It's referenced in each of your recorded conversations, which are then verified by the people that watch them. We then use this series of verified conversations to generate a personhood score that could be used to supplement or replace a more traditional KYC verification process. For each verified conversation, you'll also receive authentic conversation NFTs that memorialize the precious moments you spent getting to know your neighbors through beautiful AI-generated artworks that are completely unique and personalized because they're based on a transcript of your conversation. We hope that these NFTs will one day become cherished souvenirs of the meaningful relationships that have shaped your life. Once our project grows, we will give you a debit card that can receive donations and make contactless payments in all shops. If a donation is received in crypto, it's automatically converted to fiat and deposited into the card. Our priorities for this year are community building and inter-DAO networking to attract awesome contributors from all around the world, and collaborating with forward-thinking cities to launch several small-scale pilot projects. You can follow us on Twitter, contribute on Discord, or donate on Gitcoin grants. So join us in solidarity to go from competition to collaboration. We are building a compounding web of care that is created through the recording of authentic conversations between neighbors and which lays the foundations for a citizen-led global basic income. That's it. Thank you.
Bravo. Perfect. What I was thinking, it's like, for me, it's clear. I think you have really go into many rounds of refining it, right?
Oh, yes.
It looks like that. I will just, one of my feedbacks was like, some words are complex. So who is that you want to talk to? Is this for the people of the grant 14? It's okay, right? Because they will understand some words that are more complex. But for people like normal people, people that are less technical or less like, you know, like more normal words language, or that's also because my native language is not English, so it's like just having this kind of explanation with more easy words for other people. This can be perfect for the grant. It's I mean it's perfect.
Perfect for the what? Sorry.
For when you're asking for grants for people that know more about these technologies that are more like refined in the words they use.
Okay, for grants.
But for like yeah. But for like people, normal people like me that don't have these complexity words in their vocabulary, maybe it's a little bit like hard. Not everything, but some words can be hard. Yeah. And one thing that I think it's super important that will allow you to connect deeper, it's like you're talking about deep connections, right?
Yes.
I want to see you have a deep connection and a deep conversation. And maybe from that you can have different clips, and then it's like recording it and having these clips so you can have material and content to share with people. It's like connection with the currency is connection. The currency is the conversation and the wisdom we share with each other, right? But I need to see it from you first. Yeah. So I think that will blow the pitch away, because it's like, oh, the first thing is having a conversation, a deep conversation, being open, right? And then from that, everything else is possible. Why? Because we are finding connection, human connection. And then if we are aligned, we will seek for the things that connect with each other. Can it be values, our goals, our purpose, right? Because we have shared common things that allow us to connect, because we are erasing the idea that we are disconnected, that we are one person to each other. Can you give me guys 2 seconds, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Hmm. Tu vois comment tu es tellement... Petite, ouais.
Ah oui, c'est pour changer. Vas-y, mets-toi comme moi. Non.
Comment ça, comme ça, comme ça.
Ah, mais... Les micros. J'aimerais bien que tu aies une deep conversation avec ma mère. Non, mais vraiment.
Sorry.
Non.
Uh,
Where we were
Well,
at the conversation.
the conversation. I think recording some like conversation, like deep conversation between you or some other person. And we can do it also with me, so you can have more content that will really help pop the project, because that's like the basic thing that builds everything else, right?
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's actually our next step. We really want to launch a project to record, to start by recording online conversation. So then we will have something to show to people, and we will have something to test also, because we want to start having these conversations and see how we can improve our way to have conversation and connect with people. So yes, it will be at the same time like a research thing, and then having something to show to people. Yeah, but you're definitely right.
Yeah, because basically you will also be doing a workshop for people to connect in conversation, right? Is your you will learn like this like curious story journey framework, right? Which is like not new. It was there like long ago. It's just how we kind of refocus it for something that is about conversation and our experience in life. But you can also create this workshop for solidarity card. And then it's like a hub for research, how to improve this with the community, feedback with you, and then you can have this like one-step thing before things happening. Is like how having a deep conversation, what that means, and then it's like solidarity card teach you how to, in a way, right? You have this workshop when people can come. It's like on like before anything happens, it's like an onboarding for you to know what it means to have deep conversation or to connect with people that you don't know. and to understand that it's uncomfortable for everyone. It's not just about you, that we all have this discomfort to connect because we are being so disconnected from each other that now it's hard. Something that we kind of before had more openness to, now we have hard time to just say hi to the neighbor, right? Good
Yeah.
afternoon. You kind of see them and then you hide because you don't want to even say good morning. It's like, oh my God, did he see me? Or where I have to hide in my house to not say anything. It's like, why?
Like, oh, it's too late.
Yeah, and then it's like she says like hi, and you're like, oh hi, and you wish he will not want to speak with you anymore. But why? We all live in the same building. We have differences. We don't need to be perfect or to have the same ideas, but at least we have to respect each other, right?
Yeah.
Very inspiring what you are saying.
Yes.
It's
So this is very cool because we sort of like broke up the whole project in smaller projects.
Show the screen.
And oh yeah, I'm gonna show the screen. And what we had decided we should do next as a first focus was precisely, do you see the screen there?
yeah, I do.
So you see we have like different initiatives in like the building, community, finance, message, and sense making work streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are like technical things in building, like creating a token or the NFT, etc. So we decided that one of the next things we should focus on is this thing called authentic conversation society, which is basically similar to the workshop you just showed us. You know, but we record it and see what we can learn from it.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
And first we want to do it like with Zoom, breakout rooms, which is the same thing you mentioned. And of course, like the long-term version is like Web3 and it's in an app and it's like basically social media. But first we start with something very simple, which is very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
mean,
what Pauline was saying also a little bit earlier was Solidarity Voice on Twitter Spaces, like talk with other people, but more like an open conversation with many more people, not just one. Sorry, you were going to say something.
no, that I think it's amazing how much work you have done. It's I mean, you are so organized. I will never use Notion in this way. I still keep my notes in my notebook and my pencil. I'm old school. I can't. I don't know why, but it's amazing all the work that you have done. Is I mean, there's nothing wrong with the project. It's sometimes, and I know because I work with other person's projects and my own projects, and it's like sometimes you feel stuck, like all these things, and then where you start or where you begin is like just remembering that small things, small steps get you into bigger things. So just going back to basics, doing the things that are like the most meaningful and important for you right now, that feels good, that will make the project go further.
Yeah.
Then if not, you will overwhelm yourself with so much things that it will be a burden, and you need to enjoy it. You need to feel that this project is something that you really want. So small steps, the small actions go into a chunk of bigger things happening. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, super. I just want to show you that I'm still taking notes.
Okay, perfect. I don't feel that old.
I stopped doing that because I lost many notes like that.
Ah, yeah.
And then you don't find them anymore.
Maybe because you don't need to find him anymore. Who knows?
I was reading a blog of
Right.
someone that says like actually the real purpose of writing is just to like get it out of your head, but it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you read it again ever.
Yeah, I think so also.
Yeah, I guess in some cases, yes.
But yeah, it's amazing work. So you should be very proud of yourselves.
Mm, yes,
And building community is the hardest thing. Building
know.
community is hardest thing ever.
That's what we need to figure out how to do it.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just experimenting because there's no other way. It's not like a recipe for things I mean, you can do salud less. Yes, less.
You?
But the truth is that building community is something that you experiment with. I mean, not in a very labby way, but yeah, it's the most important thing is being authentic for the people to show and to see and to connect with you, and yeah, building from that slowly with patience, because it's very hard building community, having people attention, retaining the attention, making people to feel committed to you. It's a journey, so in itself. So.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, man. If you have the project, that's why I think that when you have this desire for something that it's beyond just creating it, it's about doing it like every day, having to put some time of that, even though sometimes it will be harder, sometimes you need the money, you need the time for other things. But if you put the time every day to do something regarding the project and it feels good, it doesn't matter if it's big or small, it's good. It's going.
Mhm. I agree.
So yeah, I think we can experiment with this and see this journey thing where it helps you to build something, to bring more people, to record yourselves, to expose more yourself in front of the camera to people to say, this is Solidarity Card. Solidarity Card is Pauline. It's not just yellow, red, a hand, and some letters. Right? It's Juan.
That's Pauline's hand. Look.
Well, I mean, yeah. But it's like, yeah, I want to see real hands touching each other and seeing like, oh, right. That feeling of grabbing someone's hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ideally, we will do one like a video advertisement, right?
Yeah. And you know how to do that one.
Of course, I know.
Utilize it for the Solidarity Card. It will be good.
But we first need to write what it says.
Do it easy, do it simple, basic, and then do it, and then things will show.
And also the thing is like until like last week, the whole pitch was more about like homeless people.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And now we don't talk about that at all anymore because everyone was just like, oh, like that was like the only thing they listened to. Even if the project is like, I don't know, 10% homeless people, really.
Yeah, but then like it's like these red flag words, homeless people. And
Yeah.
everything else that you say is like gone because
Yeah.
everything is about the homeless people.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, I understand it's important to acknowledge them, but I mean, in terms of the project, it's there are things that are important, so you can support the homeless people, but you don't have to take them as the main character.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why we are changing the whole pitch.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a wonderful job.
Cool. So then you would like to participate in these conversations.
Yeah, let's do it so we can experiment and see where all this take us.
I'm thinking maybe this can connect also with activate in a way that like maybe we can like give tokens to the people that participate in the conversations or something.
Yeah, I mean,
You mean the bounties on activate? Activate.
No, not bounties, it's the conversations of activate.
Yeah, it's the conversations.
Yeah. So we can like start like bootstrapping the two projects in the same time.
yeah, I mean, at the end, it's kind of, we can find a space for them to not to be the same, but to work for each other in a way that, yeah, if you want to start in this Web3, and then if you want to understand how to connect deeper into this space, it's about through conversation, and also this conversation can get you into real life events like getting to know your neighbor, and it's like you get this token and this token. Yeah, we can think about that, because it can and it will be a good idea,
Yes.
right?
A win-win situation.
Like for example, I wanted to also do like documentaries, like a film club, basically. And like we watch a documentary and then we talk about it.
Yeah, like a circle sharing, right?
And yeah. Okay, cool.
I mean, I think we can start with the conversation, record them, see how they work for you, if they bring more people, put it on Twitter, right? Like, yeah, like use that to get more people involved, or at least be curious. At least be curious to come and join.
And we are also looking for a tool to do that. Like, for example, with Zoom, we can do that with breakout rooms. But then people would have to record themselves, and they would have the record, and then they would need to send it to us. So it's a bit complicated.
Yeah, you need to make it easy for people. The easier for them, the better for you.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist today.
But maybe it's more about, maybe just, for example, I remember that we can invite people, right? Like, I don't know, people that you know, and do it with them. And then it's like breakout rooms for them to engage with the people in the community, but not really to record them, right? Because we can record the conversations with the people that we kind of know. And it's like, if they connect with each other in the break rooms and they get the connection out of their Zoom into, let's put it like call in the week, and then they connect, they will say, you kind of start having this connection of friendship, and then you meet in the Zoom calls with all the community, and you feel more into a safe place, because you kind of know the story of that person, and the other person started to know yourself. And then it's not just, then it's like how you connect with the community, not you, but in the community with the community. And then we can record ourselves to show them, or to do the calls to show them how to use this framework. Like you're showing them how to use it. And then the breakthrough rooms work like a way for people to connect inside the community and outside, and then to come back. It's complicated, but it's just because in my experience, that's how it worked. And it was like that. We never recorded the breakout rooms. It was just about having this connection with other one in the community. And then it was easier to jump into the next goal because you started knowing people and you feel safe in that space. So it was just about thinking it's simple ways for us to manage and for you to be able to have that content and not always depend on people sending it to you because you know how things move. People come and then they say they will come again and then they never show. And then it's like, oh, can you give me the video? And then it's like, it's just, I mean, there could be another way. I'm not saying that's the only way.
No, of course. I mean, this is just like the MVP version. In the final version, it would record on the platform without people having to do anything.
Yeah.
But the people that will participate in this like a beta testing part will, I don't know, will have to do a bit more of work.
Yeah.
And also that's also why we send them a little token when you upload the video, for example.
That's the incentive, right?
You receive something. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, well, it was nice to have the conversation. I mean, I'm happy to share this with you, and if there's any
Thank you
way to use it and to refine it and transform it, it's nice.
Yes. Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Arsene is not in call anymore.
Hey, what is that in your head? You have something in your head like a...
No.
It's for the hair. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was like an antenna for
for the internet. Yeah, I'm a satellite, but not yet. But yeah, I mean, I'm very glad that I can share this with you and it can help you build the community.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your words today. Very helpful words.
I'm glad I can support.
So
yeah, it's Arsene from the back.
We will read this document. Hi, Arsene. We will read all of these documents very attentively.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to you and let's organize this in, I don't know, in a couple of weeks, probably.
Yeah, you let me know and we can see how this can move.
Ooh.
Okay.
Cool, guys.
Thank you. And
you're welcome. Well, have a nice night. And
You too.
we'll see each other tomorrow for over climate artists. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Perfect. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.